Okay. All right, let me just let's make a quick record real quick here. Let me call this case, and then Judge Garcia, I'll let you make the announcement that you made earlier. This is P-35878. This is in the estate of Simon Garza, also known as Simon Garza Jr. Let me have announcements from all the participants, please.
Yes, Joanne Garcia, prior counsel for Eddie Forshagi. Mr. Gomez, you want to announce yourself?
Yes, this is Rene Gomez, counsel for Antonia Garza. She's the spouse of the decedent, Simon Garza Jr.
Okay. Just
And
I'm sorry.
And sorry, I'm still on the phone. This is Scott Christ, attorney for BBVA USA, formerly known as Compass Bank, who is the mortgage company on the secured by the property.
Mr. Gomez or Judge Garcia, do you all have any, or Mr. Forshagi, do you all have any objection to letting that gentleman? He just made an appearance because I noticed him, but I understand the foreclosure's been done. He really doesn't have a role to play.
I have no objection.
Mr. Gomez?
No objection, Judge.
All right. Mr. Forshagi?
No objection.
All right. You agree with Judge Garcia's request, sir, that I reset this so you can have a chance to hire a lawyer and be represented at a hearing?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Mr. Gomez, any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Okay. I just do have a question. And Judge, so you'll send me an order granting your withdrawal?
Yes.
I'll sign it. You're welcome to stand by, or you can, as you prefer.
Sure.
Mr. Gomez, let me just ask you something. Has your client received everything that she had coming under the will?
No, Judge.
Okay, all right. So everything is in order then, your motion for an accounting and okay. Well, let me reset it. It's like a month ahead of time. Judge Garcia, I did try to mail stuff to Mr. Forjagi, 22630 North Farm to Market 88. So as I think you noticed, you'll give me an up-to-date contact.
Yes. I think that's what we'll put the correct address in the withdrawal to make sure that there's an address and a phone number. And
Okay.
also just for the record, I know there was an inquiry as to whether the oath was ever filed, and it wasn't.
I got it.
I know we emailed you it was not file stamped, but I looked at the file and there is a file stamped one that was filed on October the 24th of 2014.
For some reason, that oath and another oath in another case, after I called the clerk's office, they sent me a copy, but they weren't listed in the docket that's available to me as a member of the public.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the clerk, I don't know how they post them, but this is the second oath that I really couldn't find. But I got it, and that's not an issue for me anymore.
For the court's info, I also got a copy of it, Judge.
I'm sorry?
I also got a copy of it.
Okay. So, Mr. Forshagi, the only thing I'm going to use this new address that Judge Garcia sends me. If you hire a lawyer, as soon as you can, have them file an appearance of counsel. So I won't be sending you stuff. You shouldn't be receiving notices from me. It should be sent to your lawyer. That's kind of the benefit of having lawyers, that they represent you. And so if you really want to avoid getting notices from me, as soon as you hire a lawyer, have him notify me and file an appearance so that we can get back on track with dealing with you as a represented individual.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions from anyone?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, then, Mr. Gomez, I'll send the notices. It's going to take me a while to get back to this case, but I'll send them as soon as I can. In the meantime, I hope I get that appearance of counsel.
No problem.
Any questions? Ms. Garza, you understand? Well, Mr. Gomez will explain to you.
That's fine.
Okay.
My mom has a question. She wants to know, because this case has been delayed a long time because Mr. Forsagi has failed to acquire an attorney, and we just don't want to reconvene back in January again and him not have an attorney yet again. So we just want to know how long will it take Mr. Forsagi to obtain an attorney so we can get on with this case.
Mr. Swarsagi has been told, and he understands. And I think
Thank you.
Judge,
I certainly hope so, because it doesn't seem like he understands from our end. It's been over a year that I believe you, Judge Garcia, have told him that you could no longer be his attorney, and yet he has failed to obtain representation.
I'd rather give him a little more time because it's less complicated if he does acquire a lawyer. And like I explained to him, ma'am, if I don't get the new date, I'm going to send the notice to him, and we're going to call the case like we did today. And either he'll have a lawyer or we'll proceed with the hearing at the next time. So I was hoping that you had received everything you had under the will, and that would indicate another direction of this case. But
Yes, Judge Garza, we also hope the same, but unfortunately, Mr. Forsagi has been delaying this a very long time, and my mom hasn't received any of what was coming to her in the will.
okay, well, Mr. Gomez, I'm sorry, Judge, go ahead.
I just want to make clear, and so that we make clear for the record that in the will, I wasn't aware that Ms. Garza received under the will. I think it was a community issue. But that's neither here nor there. I think that just is something that the new council can talk to Mr. Gomez about and Ms. Garza.
Okay, I just have realized she's named as a beneficiary under the will, and that's as far as I went in my analysis. So whatever legal issues are present in that,
Right.
Mr. Gomez, are you satisfied that? Well, you're at this point, all you're seeking is an accounting. Is that right?
That's right, Judge. So we can then know what we can ask for as far as she was a beneficiary for, what benefits, legal benefits she would have.
Okay, I guess I was on this case real early, and then I got off because of the problem with Hidalgo County, I believe. But at one point in the case, there was an indication that there was an agreement reached. I believe it was on the request for an accounting. Do I recollect that correctly, or?
We had talked, Mr. Gomez and I had spoken, and that in order to avoid the attorney's fees in the preparation of accounting, that I would give him bank records and the IRS checks to show what went out of the bank account. And that was done, but I understand if Mr. Gomez still wants the accounting, that he can still ask for it, but I'm not going to be the one preparing it. But that, yes, your recollection is correct that there was discussion that in order to avoid formal attorney's fees, because I didn't want to bill the estate. I didn't want to anymore. I didn't want to incur the fees because of the amount of the cash that was in the account. I didn't want to use it towards attorney's fees. And that was what was trying to be explained, is that if a formal accounting was going to be done, then administrative cost was going to go up. And so I hope that in giving all the bank records and the IRS bills and the canceled checks that showed that there would be an avoidance of doing that formal accounting to save the estate administrative fees. But I understand, I know where I understand the duty Mr. Gomez has. And so that.
Okay. Mr. Gomez, my thought was that if your client here received, because there's children from a prior marriage, if your client here received everything that apparently on its face looks like she was bequested, there was a bequest to her of something. If she had received that, I don't know that you would have standing to proceed any further. I mean, if she got everything that she had coming, I don't know why we would want to do an accounting to incur additional costs.
Well,
That's my surface understanding of the case, but apparently there's a dispute about what it is she has coming under the will. Is that?
exactly, Judge.
Okay, and that's it, because as to the will, everybody had a chance to contest it and no one did. And the letters and the estate was established by agreement of the parties. So we don't have a will contest. Is that right?
No, it's just the accumulation or the tally of all the property mentioned in the will and to who it was supposed to be distributed to, and we have absolutely no information regarding that part, and none as far as distribution to Mrs. Garza, and that's what she wants, an accounting of it. And that's correct what Judge Garcia said, that we were trying to avoid extra costs against the estate itself because that would diminish the money that either any interested party would be have the right to get at the end.
Okay, I'm kind of at a loss about the dispute, but I guess we'll about, as Judge Garcia said, about a community interest and all that. I'm really not understanding that, but I guess we'll let that develop as time goes.
Okay,
Okay, y'all have a nice day. I won't let this go. We'll set it again. Nice to see y'all. Roland, thank you. Judge Garcia.
Thank
Judge
you.
Garza, thank you
Mr.
very much.
Gomez, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Judge.
Y'all
Thank
have a
you.
nice day. Mr. Forshaji and Ms. Garza.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.